We all know that there have been great challenges to our very beloved community college here in San Francisco as a result of the question of its accreditation. City College, I don't need to recount, of course, is a portal, sometimes the only portal for an opportunity for higher education, a college degree, a certificate for workforce training. It's also one of San Francisco's largest employers. It's also a great customer to so many of San Francisco's small businesses. We must sustain our San Francisco Community College. And the news is good. Chancellor Bryce Harris, of course, who is himself a former commissioner, is well aware of what needs to be accomplished to save this, I think in our opinion, most important campus and district of the entire 112, if I can be so bold to say districts in the entire state. So he has every incentive to make sure this job gets done, and I'm confident, and I've told everyone I know, that it will get done. So our challenge has been that in spite of the good news and the progress that we're making, that there are some who would otherwise enroll at community college in San Francisco who are not. And so we have to make sure that changes. We've lost about 16% of enrollment in the past year. That's not going to be sustainable. So the message is one of positive expectation. Accreditation will be sustained. The message is that everyone who wants to enroll should enroll, and that once you're enrolled, you're safe. We're going to see you through the entire process. No one's going to get dropped once they're in the system, and we have to stabilize funding. And that's the point of this bill, because without the stabilization of funding, what happens is what's known as a vicious cycle, a downward spiral. Students don't enroll, fewer dollars from the state because of the low enrollment. As a result, programs have to be closed down, faculty may have to be let off, and it gets smaller and smaller until we may not have our district any longer. So that's why we have to stabilize the funding. So what the bill does, very simply, is makes a relatively minor amendment to state law. Currently, there is a single year of funding stabilization in California statute. So, for example, in the 13-14 school year, the funding level is the same as 12-13, though enrollment is down a bit. So we're going to call 13-14 the base year of funding for Community College San Francisco. Going into 14-15, we'll stick with that base funding. Going into 15-16, the funding will be no less than 95% of the base year. The next year out, no less than 90% of the base year. And the last year out, 17-18, no less than 85% of base year funding. Now I say no less than, because of course it's our hope by the time we get to some of the outer years, enrollment will be on the rise, and hopefully this will not be necessary. But it is a floor, it's a safety net, it's a baseline, so that we can continue to work to restore enrollment, to rebuild the school, and again, all through the process of sustaining accreditation. Now, what will trigger the use of this funding allowance is that there will be a significant risk to accreditation. So we know that that criteria is already met by Community College of San Francisco. In the bill, you will see a second criteria, and that is stated that a special trustee has been appointed by the chancellor. I want to clarify that the intent was not to engage the conversation of the special trustee. The reason it's there is as an accountability standard. I'll be amending those words with regard to special trustee out of the bill, and through the committee and legislative process, working with all the stakeholders, from our sponsor, Chancellor Bryce Harris, to all of the stakeholders, the faculty, the students, the staff, the administrators, all of those who are involved in sustaining the accreditation and the well-being of the college, to come up with a very real and acknowledged accountability standard, because of course we know that the Department of Finance and the administration, the governor, will want to see accountability in the bill to be able to support this. So that is a work in progress. That will be something we'll be focusing on as we go through the committee process, but I just want to make that clarity.